Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. InfoWarsStore.com.
Trying to silence her, and she blames Donald Trump for trying to ruin her career. Then, a live update from Bilderberg 2017 as the InfoWars crew discovers that the director of CERN will be in attendance this year, meeting with top globalists behind closed doors. All that plus Donald Trump is destroying the planet. A look at the crazy reactions from the left over America's exit from the Paris raw deal. That's up next on the InfoWars Nightly News.
During this Memorial Day, I want to thank the veterans that have fought, but of course, most importantly, those that have died, because that's what this holiday and remembrance is all about. Take advantage of these unprecedented specials and help support the tip of the spear in the fight against the globalists while supplies last. These are the biggest sales ever on these items. You add auto ship, several of these are lost leaders. So for myself and the entire InfoWars crew, I salute you and thank you for all your prayers on this Memorial Day. Just understand that without you, there'd be nothing, because you are the InfoWar.
This is the InfoWars Power Pack, and it can start your car if it has a dead battery. And now we're gonna use the Power Pack to jumpstart this truck. And we're gonna show you. Switch on the Power Pack. Wait a few minutes, and then you'll be able to start your car. With just a few minutes on the InfoWars Battery Pack, you go from a dead battery to this. You get all that cranking power in this little brick. The InfoWars Power Pack is a must-have, and it'll give you peace of mind whether you're at home or on the go. It's so compact, it'll fit in your backpack, your glove box, or even your back pocket. Get one for your home, boat, car, camping setup, or just for emergencies. Secure your peace of mind today and order your InfoWars Power Pack from InfoWarsStore.com or dial 1-888-253-3139.
I love it. They just said you're live. Don't give us a countdown, whatever. Hey, welcome to the InfoWars Nightly News. I'm Rob Duth, Michael Zimmerman. Let's get right down to business because we got a lot to cover in this segment as we go through this. Who knew the director of CERN was at Bilderberg today? And guys, if you could turn me down in my ear, that's way too loud. Here's from Kit Daniels. Bilderberg elites take interest in Collider, accused of being a gateway to other worlds. The Collider reportedly generates a magnetic field 100,000 times more powerful than that of Earth's. A concern because human and animal biology, particularly the pineal gland, interacts with the Earth's atmosphere. I don't know if you know this out there, but there are actual eye cells in your pineal gland. It has cones. You know, your eyes have rods and cones. And the pineal gland actually has cones in it.
Kind of gives some credence to that whole
third eye, exactly. And so they think, you know, the third eye has a lot of things dealing with not extrasensory perception, but like maybe your sixth sense, maybe dangers on its way. People using their gut, is they think a lot of that goes through the pineal gland. And so they're wondering why this is here. Ancient cultures and modern spiritualists believe that pineal gland is the location of the third eye and seat of the human soul, as deduced by French philosopher Descartes. And also, you may remember last year, CERN was the site of a weird mock human sacrifice that they did, I guess, to basically open it up.
It's really the best way it can be described. Yeah, it's weird.
People were flying down. There were weird bird creatures perched on top of people.
This is supposed to be a bunch of scientists, and it's like, all right, you're doing weird, I don't know if it's satanic rituals or what, but...
This is what your elites are doing right now. Google, Eric Schmidt is also there. In fact, I should have pulled this up. I actually had some bad video because I realized it was him as they were getting on the Builder bus when we were in Dresden, Germany last year. I actually saw he was sitting up at the front, and I saw him. I started shooting video. he saw me and got up and moved to the back of the bus because I guess that's the only way to get these elites to do anything is point a camera at them.
Oh, yeah.
Because they hate being on camera.
Well, I think you kind of helped General Petraeus' workout routine last year, too.
I did. He
wouldn't have run nearly as fast if you weren't.
He was ready to stop, and he kept going. But hey, guys, tomorrow out there, those of you covering Bilderberg, tomorrow is jogging day. So get ready because I know there's not a lot of grounds around Chantilly. They'll actually have to run outside of the cordon to get their exercise.
There's going to be a meeting tomorrow, or not a meeting, a rally basically outside of the hotel there from noon.
A big pro-Trump rally.
7 p.m. So if you're a Trump supporter and you're in that area, get down there, show your support, and show that you don't approve of what they're doing there at Bilderberg.
Exactly. Now, yesterday, and guys, we don't have a clock either if y'all are going to put one up for us or give us something, just to let you know. Yesterday was a big day for Donald Trump because he got us out of the Paris Agreement, which was a one-sided agreement basically to make us pay for everything like we always do. Look at NATO, look at the United Nations.
Well, the developed world is bad.
Exactly. We're going to have to pay for everybody else so they can become developed and get solar panels quicker because, we hate America so much. So he pulled out of this. The liberals had a hissy fit. But here's another article from Kit Daniels. NASA data proves Trump was right to exit Paris Climate Accord. Now, this is an article that the liberals and those living in Dimension B do not want you to read, don't want to read it. They don't want to believe it. But here we go. Canadian Ice Service data shows Greenland ice nearing a record high as Arctic sea ice extends over 300,000 square miles past its 2016 level. So this isn't a multi-year buildup. This is in 1 year, 300,000 square miles. But hey, don't let facts get in the way of a good story being told by Al Gore and his multi-million-dollar houses. Climate analyst Tony Heller said, an actual Arctic sea ice extent is normal, and Greenland has gained a record amount of sea ice this winter. In fact, I challenge people to go. There's an old National Geographic cover. They were showing people, hey, this is what Eric the Red's house looked like when he lived in Greenland back in the day. All right, I don't have the exact date on the tip of my tongue, but they showed Greenland as green land, as a field, and his house was built up on there. Now, if you go to Greenland now, it's covered with ice. Okay,
and Iceland is... some parts of it are green.
Exactly.
A lot of parts of it are very frozen.
But back in the day, they had a warming trend. And it wasn't caused by SUVs because there were no SUVs to cause it. It wasn't caused by dinosaur farts because dinosaurs were already dead. So it was caused by natural activity from the sun and the earth interacting with the sun.
Weather's very cyclical.
Exactly. Now let's move on. There's more. A new NASA study says an increase in Antarctic snow accumulation that began 10,000 years ago is adding enough ice to the continent to outweigh the increased losses from thinning glaciers. In fact, they show it had a net gain of 112 billion of ice a year from 1992 to 2001, and then another 82 billion tons of ice per year between 2003 and 2008. So all this doom and gloom that the earth is going to melt and then we're going to have flooding in New York, just like Al Gore said, which, there was a flood because it went over the storm surge. And he was showing the World Trade Center, but the World Trade Center is designed to get this water and take it and flush it out.
The memorial there is also literally a sunken fountain in the ground.
That too.
It is something that constantly has water pouring in it.
Furthermore, they don't want you to talk about the sun because the sun has nothing to do with the climate. It's all having to do with SUVs and coal-powered plants. And that's the only thing that's going to create the sun. But you found some articles of liberals
all of this
literally having a hissy fit.
Trump pulling out of this is actually very racist. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
According to the ACLU, pulling out of the Paris Agreement would be a massive step back for racial justice and an assault on communities of color across the U.S. I don't see how.
But they explain it more in further tweets.
Here's a couple.
Because in case you didn't know, here's the rest of the story.
And flooding will impact every American, but climate change doesn't affect us all equally. Black and brown people are more likely to live near coal plants, have higher asthma rates than white Americans do. That disparity is only going to worsen in coming years and is why we must act on climate if we're serious about racial justice.
Wow. So it's all the coal power plants' fault, even though they're building cleaner coal power plants here in the United States. Yeah. Meanwhile, Mexico, China get to have the dirtiest plants out there. There's no regulations on them, which is why they vote for these climate accords, because they get to continue acting the way they want while we have to have, it's only solar power. It's only LED bulbs that aren't as bright.
America to the rest of the world. All these developing nations, we're going to pay for it, which I do think America should and could take steps to, let's, I don't want Austin to look like Beijing does, where it's.
Let's look at real pollution.
Right. Yeah, let's focus on pollution. Let's focus on, there are cities like LA where when you've got all these cars out in traffic, there is real bad smog. You can tell.
You know, we used to have
can't see the
pollution
mountains in the distance.
when they made fertilizer. They used to have sodium fluoride was shot out into the air, and it's gas. And they realized, hey, we can't do this. It's killing the orchards over here in Florida. It's killing the cows in the neighboring fields. So they started spraying water on it. And then they collected it and go, what do we do with this? This is toxic waste.
Oh.
And they go, hey, we're going to put it in people's water. And so they started putting it in your water. Now, I know we got to get to these Kathy, I'm going to call her Kathy Bates, but I'm sorry to Kathy Bates. Kathy Griffin, a horrible actress, which we're going to show in a second. Do you have anything else? I know Leonardo DiCaprio was also whining about this too as he got on a jumbo jet and flew around the world.
You know, he was in, I believe, France last year, and then he got an award in New York that he had to go pick up. So he flew to New York in a private jet and then picked up his award and flew right back within 24 hours.
He's an elite.
He's got a yacht that I believe they were saying was like 40,000 horsepower or something. This massive yacht he rented for a while. That's surely, you know, good for the environment, burning all that.
Yeah, totally.
But hey, as long as Leonardo DiCaprio is having fun and flying in his private jet,
well, and as long
like he's better than you,
and as long as we stop bullying Kathy Griffin, we can move on with our lives.
Well, she's really the big victim here.
She is the total victim. You, of course, you've seen the shot. Here it is of her holding Trump's head.
Oh,
apparently Barron saw this, had a little freak out in his house. Melania had a great tweet to Kathy Griffin, and everybody else piled on her too because she deserves to be piled on. If somebody held up a head of Barack Obama, people would have lost their freaking minds. But let's go to the first clip. We have lots of clips from her press conference that was, so delightful to watch today. That was better than watching a horrible episode of the D-List. But let's go to the first clip. She's not afraid of Trump.
I'm not afraid of Donald Trump.
Oh.
He's a bully. I've dealt with older white guys trying to keep me down my whole life, my whole career.
White guys.
I'm a woman in a very male-dominated field. I love what I do. I love making people laugh more than anything in the world. And I have learned over the years
at your art project
that sometimes when you do stand-up, and I've done it in a war zone, and I've done it at Walter Reed Hospital, and I've done it at Carnegie Hall, sometimes people want, a joke that's out there and a little crazy. So regarding the image that I participated in, that apology absolutely stands. I feel horrible. I have performed.
I don't know if it stands. She was not wearing makeup
the
when she
idea
made that apology. I couldn't even watch it.
This, made people think of this tragedy, to have been touched by this tragedy is horrifying. It's horrible. Trust me, if I could redo the whole thing, I would have had a blow-up doll and no ketchup.
If you could have redone it again, how about not do it? And you wouldn't even be in the public spotlight at this point, which is exactly why you did it in the first place. So that's a
she even describes herself as a D-list celebrity. So we're kind of going to be short on time with these. So let's go ahead and get right into the next one.
What's happening to me has never happened ever in the history of this great country, which is that a sitting president of the United States
called you out
and
for
his
your
grown
bull?
children and the first lady are personally, I feel, trying to ruin my life forever.
Yeah, you're the targeted one. Even though you're holding the decapitated head of what's supposed to look like Donald Trump, you're the target.
Had you not done that, no one would be talking about you right now. Do you realize that, Kathy Griffin? Do you realize if you had not held up the president's head in effigy and go, oh, look, I'm an ISIS supporter, no one would care. No one would be talking about you. It's your fault. You own it. It's yours. You get to live with it. Let's go to the next clip.
The death threats that I'm getting are constant, and they are detailed, and they're serious, and they're specific. And today it's me, and tomorrow it could be you.
Oh, so she's worried about the death threats, which I don't agree with. I don't think people should send her death threats.
Oh, we should be making fun of her, which is what we are doing right now.
We're mocking her right now. No. She was the one making references to decapitating people.
Right.
You started this.
It's Snoop Dogg who showed himself shooting the president in the head. Okay. The reason these other people are getting mad at you is because they're sick and tired of seeing their president be threatened. Yep. And sorry if you didn't vote for him. Sorry if you're a liberal stooge. Sorry if you believe in one set of rules for elites and another set of rules for all the commoners. But
same thing. We don't agree with all the climate stuff. It's a different set of rules for them.
Exactly. Now here we get to the Barron.
Barron traumatized.
Poor Barron. Go to the next clip.
Children. Do you think every news organization can block out? Trump can block out every news organization tweeting out this photo.
You know what? There's a lot of disgusting stuff about Trump on the news every day, like the fact that he's making us the laughing stock of the world. Okay, you know what? There are other people here.
So when faced with a question, she doesn't answer it. She attacks Trump.
Nothing in her piece had to do with Barron. So you're trying to make something.
You
that-
said
How do
you
you
had
know
heard.
about the fact that he was traumatized?
Well, allegedly.
Allegedly.
We don't know that.
Allegedly.
You're assuming that everything the Trumps say is true. And in fact, we know that many of the things that the Trumps say are false. So again, comedians get to be edgy.
This lady has
Comedians
to be
get
one of
use
the worst
four-letter
attorneys
words.
I've ever seen. Her
Comedians
name
get
is
to make visual
Lisa
representations
Bloom.
that are
It's
not appropriate
Gloria
for children.
Allred's
News
daughter.
organizations can
So
decide
you can
what
tell
they're
the
going to
apple
put
doesn't
on
fall far
daytime
from the
TV,
tree.
and parents can decide what's appropriate for their
Guys, if you would please zoom in on this little clip right here. This is a quote from Kathy Griffin from December 9th, 2016. So I'm happy to deliver beat down to Donald Trump. And also Barron, to Barron. You know, a lot of comics are going to go hard for Donald. My edge is that I'll go direct for Barron. I'm going to get ahead of the game. Ahead. She even says ahead. She was
foreshadowing.
Literally predictive programming, telling us what she was going to do. Hold up ahead later. So there's her head right there. And Pepe has cut it off. Actually, she cut her own head off. But let's go to her. Now she's crying. Hold up. I feel bad for me. Oh.
Storm dies down. Absolutely. I don't think I will have a career after this.
Oh.
I think he.
Oh, you're going to have a career. Don't worry. You have
I'm
plenty
gonna
of
be honest.
fans
He broke me.
that love
He
you.
broke me.
He broke.
That 1,000-yard stare, too. That's the juiciest part.
This is how right. And I apologize because that was the right
Guys,
thing
put
to
this
do,
up
and I
on the
meant
board,
it.
please. Oh,
And
yeah.
then
Oh, yeah. Oh,
I
let me
saw
get a
the
collect.
tide turning,
Oh,
and I
put it
saw
right
what
there.
they were
Right
doing, and I
there.
went, oh, they're trying to spin this, and they're making about
Oh,
Barron.
man.
Just
Oh,
fill it up, Kathy. Fill it up.
Anyone, much
Fill
less
it
a
up
child,
right
but
there.
I started to see what
Ooh,
was really
yeah.
happening, and then it was a mob mentality pile on.
She worked there for 10 years.
Look,
She was the
there's a
best
bunch
thing
of
about New Year's Eve.
there's a bunch of old white guys trying to silence
All right,
me.
white guys.
I'm just here to
Second time
say
now.
that
This is key.
As
you don't have
Larry,
to like me, but you shouldn't
These smell
silence
really
a
good.
comment.
These smell fresh.
Larry King
Oh,
said
that's
Ted
salty.
Turner would never have done it. Can you go around?
There's a lot of salt there in this little
Yeah.
tears.
Wow. Oh, it happened to be in my conservatism is the new counterculture mug.
InfoWarsStore.com.
There we
You
go.
can get
Yeah.
yours and one of these.
Oh, boy, that is
So-
salty.
Then we'll get right on to this other clip.
Oh, white men again?
White men.
Oh,
So-
she says white men three
This-
times. It's
yeah,
all white
the
men's
key
fault.
to all
It's
of
white
this-
men's fault that she took Donald Trump's head and held it up and took a picture of it.
Yeah.
It's all white men's fault.
Well,
Just remember
everything
that,
is to
white
the
men.
left. It's all about white people.
Couple of white
Just like
men
the
right here.
ACLU, the whole
Couple of
the
white
whole
men
climate
making
thing
fun
is
of
the
her right
fault
now.
of white people.
Let's go to the clip. Play it.
We just might be the patriot.
We're running out of time.
No, cut the crap. This wouldn't be happening to a guy. This is a woman
Oh, it
thing.
would be
All right, I'm
happening
just
to a
going to come
guy.
out and say it. And I'm sorry if you don't
You know,
agree
we
with me,
didn't
but
do
I
this
live
to
it.
Snoop Dogg,
I'm
I guess.
56
We didn't make
years
fun of him
old.
mercilessly.
Everywhere I
But he
play,
didn't
there's
hold
a
up
male
his severed
promoter,
head
there's a
in
male
prison.
who owns the theater. The people who sign my checks are white guys. They're usually older white guys.
Old white
I've been living
guys.
this my whole career. I've been fighting this.
Move to Venezuela and see what kind of career you have in comedy. And it won't be white guys owning the theaters.
They
either.
have.
Or
Why is it on
Europe,
Twitter?
where
Why are you
the
doubting
speech would not
it?
be
It is all
protected.
over Twitter,
Which
but it's coming
we don't have a ton of time. I did want to make this point. I don't think that Kathy Griffin should be charged
Oh,
with
no.
anything.
No.
I do believe
It is her free speech,
the
just
First
like it's our
Amendment
free speech to
does not
tell her
have
to
limits.
shut up.
Yeah, the First Amendment does not have limits other than, certain things like fire in a movie theater, anything that's going to cause panic or harm.
Well, and I think
But-
the Secret Service should do due diligence and
Yeah,
say,
and
hey,
they are.
do
They have
you or
opened an
anybody you know,
investigation.
are you planning on doing this to Donald Trump?
And she's going to say, no, it was, a stupid stunt. I shouldn't have done it. And it'll be finished.
Right.
But she lost her thing with CNN already. Like she said, she's probably destroyed. She won't be able to get anything else.
And then at the end, she used the Spider-Man defense. She went, with great
Oh, yeah.
power comes great responsibility. Oh,
The
come
attorney
on,
did
Kathy.
that one. But anyway, please stick with us. We'll be right back after this short
We're
break.
going to have a live update from Bilderberg.
Absolutely.
Stay tuned.
Tonight's
Here it
InfoWars
comes.
Nightly News.
Thanks to your support, InfoWars has been able to expand its operations against the globalists at this critical time. And it's absolutely essential that we expand in the face of the enemy because, as history shows, political movements only expand or contract. And that's why the globalists are hitting us with everything they've got. Censorship, demonization, attacks, misrepresentations. They're not just trying to shut down InfoWars. They're trying to fire Sean Hannity. They're trying to cull talk radio. They're trying to silence true, independent, nationalistic media. And InfoWars is at the very heart of that resistance. We all see the dumbed-down trendies that appear to be soulless and how they're obsessed with consumerism and criticizing capitalism as they walk around in their expensive Nike tennis shoes and have their slave-made iPhones. So I personally am disgusted by empty consumerism. But the globalists want to get rid of free markets because there is such a thing as positive consumerism historically, where people can use the power they have of the purse to actually support building free and independent economies. So you're not just getting amazing products when you go to InfoWarsStore.com. You're also supporting a broadcast that is the very front lines of the resistance against the globalist. Now, we offer a lot of specials at InfoWarsStore.com on nutraceuticals, on high-quality water filtration systems, you name it. But these particular specials that we're offering for Memorial Day and out into next week are undoubtedly some of the best we've ever offered. On the subject of colloidal silver, and of course with Knockout and Brain Force, these are the best deals ever. 65% off high-quality colloidal silver. Sign up for auto ship, an additional 10% off. That is 75% off. That's at least 15 points lower than we've ever gone to introduce folks to high-quality colloidal silver who perhaps have never gotten it before. We've got Brain Force, 47% off. Secret 12, 43. Knockout Sleep Aid, 50%. Survival Shield, back in stock, 40% off. Super Males, sold out for months, 30% off. And you sign up for auto ship, cancel anytime. You get an additional 10% off on that as well at InfoWarsStore.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139. In closing, we've already come this far together, and we've seen the devastating effects truth has against the global crime syndicate. But the enemy is striking back. So again, from myself, the entire InfoWars crew, I want to salute and thank all of you. No matter what color you are or where you came from, if the love of liberty and justice beats in your heart, if the love of standing up against tyrants flows through your veins, we are all brothers and sisters together in this epic experiment that is life. So again, thank you all for your support. Visit InfoWarsStore.com today to get some of the best deals ever offered on incredible nutraceuticals, supplements, and so much more. Today, we call it bone broth. And for thousands of years, our ancestors enjoyed its benefits before it became lost to our modern diets of processed junk. We are now introducing Caveman by InfoWarsLife.com, the ultimate in true paleo nutrition with bone broth, turmeric root, chaga mushroom, and 7 total primal superfoods in a single great-tasting formula. Caveman. It's those people living in the wilds having to actually build civilization that are our superior ancestors. And we need to do everything we can to recapture that. Everyone knew that you used all the parts of the animal. You used the meat for sustenance, the fat for cooking, but you used the bones for strength. From the outside structure full of minerals and key cofactors to the marrow that produces the blood for the body. This is the engine of the life essence. I'm a long way from the caveman my ancestors were, but I'm sure as hell trying to get back to that essence that made us what we were, and this is a big part of it. I know you're going to want to check out Caveman Ultimate Paleo Formula for yourself at InfoWarsLife.com today.
And we're back. So we have an interesting thing going on with the breaks. We're playing a little bit of Bohemian Grove because one of our streams, I think the Facebook stream, is getting that. That's why you're seeing Bohemian Grove behind me. Alex Jones did an amazing quick rendition. He saw that article and goes, how come I haven't gone live with this? So he went live right before we did the nightly news talking about how...
entered the mainstream.
It has. Bohemian Grove. They literally had Frank Underwood in Bohemian Grove talking about it, how he goes there. He doesn't really believe in it, but he goes there to appease the elites.
Which is probably the case with the actual Bohemian Grove. It's these people like acting like they have some sort of, you know...
My favorite quote is from Nixon, who called it the most goddamn faggy thing he'd ever been to in his life.
I think a lot of these people know that they don't get any actual power from this. It's just this, you know, these acts that they do, these acts they put on to, you know.
Well, the power's with themselves.
Right,
the power's
exactly.
like if
that's how you rise
these
up to the
people
top.
who aren't elites can get you in, but they're like these sub elites can get you in and to do these things.
You've got to do
like,
the initiation rituals. You got to go through the rites to, yeah.
So we're now going to go live to Chantilly, Virginia, just outside of the Westfields Marriott. I see Owen Schroyer right there giving me the big OK
himself.
sign.
That's
Owen,
racist, actually.
You've been woken people, haven't you? You've been woken them up.
Well, it was interesting, some of the responses that we got yesterday when we did a man on the street here at a local fair that was happening, which actually David Knight is doing the same thing tonight. He's going to do a man on the street with those same people. But yes, some of the young people, when I brought up Bilderberg, they had no idea what was going on. There's actually one video where I'm talking to the guy about it, and I'm like, yeah, this Bilderberg group goes on, and he's like, well, if that exists, and I'm like, no, I was just
It
there.
does. They have a website.
Yeah. So it's not an if, it does. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. Will those people go and look into Bilderberg? Will they actually tell their friends about it? Will they ever care? I think that you could see in some of the videos, the ones that did care, the ones that it did kind of raise their eyebrows, and then the ones that were just like, oh, just more political BS.
When I was in Austria, we went around to the village. So it was in the middle of a mountain. There was a 1.5 mile cordon around this place. There were troops everywhere. They had Cobra commanders there. They literally called themselves Cobra. And we go down into the village. We were talking to people. Half of them don't know what it is. A couple of them did. It was the young people that knew what was going on, and they knew it was bad. But it was amazing. The older people didn't even know. They're like, I don't care. I've been beat down all my life. I'm a serf. Yeah, global government must be there for
some of the kids that I talked to, they were like, wow, that sounds cool. Yeah. And I'll make this analogy right now, okay? Because I want to get this off my chest before I forget about it. So real quick, Harrison, just so the audience can see, look, you've got the fence, Rob and Mike. The fence is going around the entire thing from here. It goes all the way around down the street. It stops right here over here, but then they have police that are trolling right here on bikes up and down this sidewalk right here. There's actually nobody out here right now except our friends over there. It appears that for the most part, everyone's left. So instead of having the concentrated security here, like they had all day, about 20 to 30 people protecting this entrance, now for some reason, they're all down there. In fact, I was going to shoot this interview live down there, but then when we were walking through here, a paddy wagon train of about 8 to 10 paddy wagons, all holding at least 8 security officers, came rolling and rumbling out of here. So we thought we'd stick around to see if that might happen again. And actually, if you want, we can walk down the street while we do this.
Go ahead and start walking now. Yeah. So have you seen a lot of people arriving today?
No. To be honest with you, Rob, even yesterday, the amount of people we saw arriving was very little. It looked like most of the people that were coming in were either like private security or even people just working at the hotel or working the event. We really only saw a couple vehicles that actually contained what appeared to be Bilderbergers. You could tell a couple of the Cadillacs that came in were bulletproof.
Blacked out windows.
Yeah, you could see a couple, blacked out, Denali's and that type stuff. But for the most part, we're not seeing many arrivals, which is why I'm thinking that perhaps this entrance that they're guarding heavily down the road here where we're walking to right now is perhaps where they're coming in. But Rob, I want to get back to my point. So as you can see, look at this fencing, okay? They've got the police fencing here as well on the left. This is all being provided by the city. All the security, all the police officers, this is all being provided by the city. And when I first heard this, it's one of those things, Rob, where you know it to be true, but it's so absurd, you still can't believe it. All of this security, all of this fencing, everything, the security privacy state that we're seeing here surrounding the Bilderberg is being paid for by the taxpayers.
Yeah.
By the citizens here. This is my analogy, Rob. Tell me if you like this one. Hey guys, I'm having a big blowout birthday party. My birthday party's coming up this month. I'm going to be 28, and I'm having a blowout birthday party. I can't wait. We're going to have a DJ. We're going to have a petting zoo. We're going to have a live band. We're going to have a Ferris wheel. It's going to be the best party ever, and I'm doing some crowdsourcing for it. So I'm just going to get $50 from all my friends. I got Harrison, the cameraman. He's going to pitch in. Rob and Mike, I'm going to take $50 from you, and you guys will pitch in. I'm going to take $50 from this security guy over here. How you doing? And he's going to pitch in. Well, okay, so now we got a bunch of money. So, thanks. Yeah, thanks. Can't wait for this birthday party. Oh, and it's going to be so much fun. When is it? Whoa, I didn't say you could go. You're not invited to the birthday party. You're just paying for it. You're just paying for it.
Well, and here's the one thing wrong.
That you're invited.
Here's the one thing wrong with that analogy. You're saying pitch in, which implies that it's voluntary. This is not voluntary. They're just taking the money and using it to pay for it. They're like saying, here, I'm going to reach into your wallet and take it.
That's exactly it. It's absurd. So, but this is what I'm talking about, though. Okay, as we're walking, here's another, hold on, stop real quick.
Bilderberg doesn't exist.
Hey, this is another funny thing that they have here. Once it reaches dusk, which we are just about to reach here in Northern Virginia.
They shine.
Can you guys see that? Can you see that light tower in there?
Yeah. One of the generator ones.
So they got about.
It's like for road construction.
Yeah. So they got about one of those, I would say about every 30 yards lit up once it hits dusk. And they've got a security team that kind of mans around that area as well. So that was another interesting thing. But I'm sure that that's cheap. No skin off the taxpayer dollar to fund that. Yeah, here's another one right here with another security guard. So just to prove exactly what we're talking about here.
Have you engaged with any of the security? Have they talked to you, or are they being standoffish?
Well, I will tell you. No, I will tell you. And this is a different security team here. Hi, how you doing, guy? I don't know what security detail he's with. He's wearing a yellow shirt. I think that's hotel security. We don't really interact with them. They're pretty much all on the grounds. But the police officers that are here have been very nice. And in fact, to be perfectly honest with you, I think that they're kind of irked.
They know what's up. Yeah.
They know what's up. But not only that, Rob, you got to understand, man. There's like 200 of them out here, like 150 of them on bikes. They have nothing to do.
Yeah.
They're not doing anything.
Nobody's
They're
a
literally
threat.
riding around. They're sitting in their cars. They're literally scratching their heads. I walk down the road and 8 of them follow me just because there's nothing else to do. So I think that they're kind of fed up with it, just to be honest with you, but they're holding their tongues. But as far as giving us any trouble or being standoffish or, try to be rude or bullying us, I haven't experienced that at all. In fact, I would say the exact opposite. They've been cordial. They smile. They wave. So haven't really had any issue with security here.
Well, tomorrow we got a couple minutes left. Tomorrow is your rally that you guys are having. Tell people about it.
Okay, I'm so glad that you brought that up, Rob. This actually just developed. We need to address this immediately. President Trump has just announced that he is doing a rally at the White House at 10 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. Rob, this is absolutely huge. I think I may even have to call Alex after this. We were planning on doing a rally in front of the Bilderberg conference tomorrow at noon. Trump just announced about an hour ago that he's doing a rally at the White House at 10 till noon. So what I'm thinking is, if we
go
could somehow
there
pull
and
this
get
off,
everybody to come here.
Boom.
Yeah.
We need to get buses.
Right.
We need to do this George Soros style. We need to get everybody who goes to that rally in D.C. to come here and bring that momentum and bring that loudness right to the Bilderberg group.
Yeah.
These are the globalists, okay? These are
That's
the people.
the swamp.
This is what you need to do.
Antifa should be protesting.
Owen, design a flyer. Go find a copying place. You design a flyer that's a 4x. You cut them out. You go to this rally. You get people to help pass them out. You pass out a bunch of flyers, tell everybody where it's at, how to get there, and you will get tons of people showing up. And just have them starting. If you're starting at noon, his is ending at noon. Boom. Maybe he did that to gather people around to get people to the White House. It can't be more than 45 minutes to get there.
So what do you think we should do? Do you think we should say that our rally starts at 1 or 2?
No. Keep it at noon. That's fine. More people will show up. People are going to trickle in. Don't change the time. Just say starting at noon. Get people there.
What about this? We're literally, folks, we're literally wargaming on air right now. Do you want us at the D.C. rally?
I would say go to the D.C. rally. Maybe have one group there at the D.C. rally and the other group there. We got to go to break. We got a hard break coming up.
Hey, Rob, I'm going to shoot a video and upload it on YouTube in front of these cops up here.
Do it. Awesome. That's the way it happens, people. Grassroots action taking place. Thanks to you out there for supporting us. Thank you very much. We got more to come. It's the InfoWars Nightly News. I'm Rob Deuce, Michael Zerman. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. We got more.
Electrify your day with Secret 12. It's like lightning in a bottle. We all have days in which we just can't seem to perform at the level we'd like to. InfoWars Life Secret 12 is designed to naturally energize your body and mind with 2 great tasting and super high quality forms of vitamin B12. Proper vitamin and nutrient intake is essential to keep your body functioning at optimum levels. The reality is, it's hard to take in the proper amount of vitamins we need each day with our modern diets. Secret 12 by InfoWars Life is an easy way to naturally upgrade your vitamin B12 intake and support your body's natural systems. It pairs 2 forms of vitamin B12 into one explosive formula. Vitamin B12 supports healthy energy levels through red blood cell formation and aiding in the body's natural processes, but it also assists with many other functions of the body. Electrify your mind and body and take your health to the next level. Experience the power of Secret 12 at InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com.
Vitamin Mineral Fusion. Visit InfoWarsLife.com to secure your canister. We have worked for years with our chemists and scientists to create the most powerful and affordable, great-tasting multivitamin formula available. Vitamin Mineral Fusion Drink Mix at InfoWarsLife.com is loaded with a full month's supply of essential vitamins, minerals, and amino acids that your body absolutely needs. In the history of InfoWars Life, we've brought out a lot of amazing products like Survival Shield X2, Super Male Vitality, and so many others. With its unique delivery system and proprietary manufacturing process designed for maximized effects, this formula is the platinum standard of multivitamin mineral products. And this part is most important. The ingredients in Vitamin Mineral Fusion are either plant-derived or of the highest quality lab standard. That means it's clean, That means it's pure. And unless secured, you're fighting the tip of the spear in the info war. That's InfoWarsLife.com and Vitamin Mineral Fusion. Take action now before we sell out. We have the new product at InfoWarsLife.com, BioTrue Selenium.
We've had so many requests over the years for selenium, and just recently, we were able to source a certified organic, bioavailable selenium from mustard seed extract. When you take selenium in the body, it actually benefits the detoxification systems in your body. It helps balance the thyroid gland. It helps detoxify.
Selenium is another one of those absolute must-haves.
The highest concentration of selenium is in the thyroid gland, but it's actually used all over the body. As a matter of fact, there's 25 genes in the body that are directly dependent upon selenium. So it really is a all-around nutrient that everybody really needs.
I'm taking it now every day. This is so key. BioTrue Selenium is the product, the best selenium that we could bring you. We believe it's the best out there at a very, very low price. Exclusively available at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139. We're selling a product, DNA Force, that is the very best nutraceutical that we can produce. Dr. Group, you took years for you to develop DNA Force for us.
It's been something that I've been working on for a long time, Alex, because I think it's very, very important. What the aging process is when the cell replicates, we lose a little bit of our telomeres. Telomeres are the little cups on the end of our chromosomes.
And when it runs out, you start dying.
We chose the PQQ because it has over 175 different clinical trials. It's one of the most effective substances in the world. It works like an antioxidant. It works to repair nerve growth factor.
So this is a formula to deliver the maximum amount. It's in powder form.
We have so many 5-star reviews. I take this. This is the product that I take.
InfoWarsLife.com, and the profit we make, we fight the globals. We fight the New World Order. Secure your DNA Force today at InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139.
Owen Schroyer here for InfoWars.com. I'm here with some locals at the Herndon Festival, and I'm going to find out if they know about the Bilderberg Group. Sir, have you ever heard about the Bilderberg Group?
Yes, I have heard about the Bilderberg Group.
Are you aware that they are secretly meeting behind hundreds of security guards right now as we speak?
Where, in Westfields?
That's right.
Ah, where they met, what?
5 years ago.
5 years ago, thank you. Yeah, I guess they like that place.
They used to go every 4 years. They didn't go last year. The theory is because they didn't want to do it in America because of the upcoming election. But since you are aware, what are your thoughts on the Bilderberg Group?
My thoughts on the Bilderberg Group that I want to go on tape. Well, let's see. I guess the biggest question is the unknown of the whole group is why do they all feel they have to meet together? As you know, they are all powerful people in their own right, but yet to conform into a group and congregate behind closed doors and not divulge anything that comes out of it, not even the membership list, it freaks people out. You know?
Well, and to be fair, they did actually just start releasing the membership list. This is a new thing. This is a new thing. They did just start doing that. But you'll probably remember, they used to deny it even existed.
Yeah,
they used to say it didn't exist. This is the 65th annual meeting this year. So,
well, do you know why they're called the Bilderberg?
No, please tell the audience.
Well, they're called Bilderberg because that's the first hotel they met at, and they didn't have a name for the group. So the people outside decided to call them Bilderberg, and they kind of inherited it because they figured they needed to have some type of name. So they just adopted the name of the first hotel they met at.
But that was during the first 50 meetings that didn't exist, according to the New York Times. What do you think it will take for the American public to know about the Bilderberg Group or to care about what they're doing?
First, they have to stop being scared and not be concerned about their own personal security and just come together as a group. And like past groups, as you know, the Tea Party and other groups that are grassroots, not really, but they say they're grassroots. We'll talk about the Koch brothers some other time, but anyway.
Koch brothers, but yeah, I know what he's saying.
Yeah, sorry. So anyway, what did it say? Final thoughts and all is if we
Let me put it to you this way. Are you worried that
the Bilderberg Group or a group such as the Bilderberg Group, a shadow corporatocracy of people that are meeting in secret, are you concerned the power that they might leverage over a sovereign nation like ours?
Oh, of course I am. I mean, I'm concerned with the fact that they want to unite Canada and Mexico together and
North American treaty.
Exactly, and have like the American Euro type setup, and it's just to really consolidate, and it's easier to control people when they're consolidated, in my mind. So yes, I'm concerned about it, and I worry about it, and if there was, I mean, and I'm saying this as one person, and I wish I had more of a power in myself, I should say, to just stand up and be like, everyone follow me, and understand that there is an organization out there, and they probably don't have your best interests in mind, because they're concerned about their future generations. They're already doing sessions on how to secure their fortunes for 10, 12 generations down the line. So honestly, it does concern me. Do I feel I have any power to do anything about it? Unfortunately, no.
What are your thoughts on this? I know you've never heard of it before, but now that you have kind of a general idea of this, what are your thoughts on the Bilderberg Group?
Gosh,
it's really happening.
Why? I mean,
why wouldn't the news cover it?
I have no idea. I don't really understand.
This is shocking. I can understand how this would be shocking to learn that this is actually going on. It's happening just down the street right now in Chantilly, Virginia. And just, I know you don't know what the Bilderberg Group is, but for real, how does 65 years these people have been meeting? They used to deny it went on. Now they have to admit it. Now that you've learned of this, is this something you might be interested in looking into?
I think I'm gonna have to do a little bit more research on it, because, to be honest, I'm not really fully informed on what you're asking me.
Well, let's not take my word for it. Let's say you go out and you do your own research, you find out who's meeting, you find out what they've been talking about, their agendas, the website, the Bilderberg website, they put out all their talking points. You can go look into this for yourself, just basically on the principle of unelected leaders meeting as a corporatocracy to try to initialize a global agenda. What do you think about that? You're not involved. It's pretty shocking.
I don't like that I'm not involved, you know, because I do my part for the most of. I don't actually live in Herndon. I live in over towards Great Falls, but I'm pretty active, you know, in the voting over there and what we do locally, you know.
So you're for elected leaders?
Yes.
Not unelected global leaders?
No, I'm for, I like the fact that they give us around here the ability to, you know, look on our local boards and be informed on things that are being voted on locally.
So you wouldn't like the idea of a world government then, would you?
Well, I see the benefits of that, because, you know, it would make leaving this country and immigrating to other countries a lot easier, I think.
Okay, so there could be values in a world government. I understand where you're going. But don't you think if these people really cared about the world and the rest of humanity, they wouldn't do it in secret? They wouldn't have hundreds of security cards not letting media in? They wouldn't lie about it, saying that they don't do it? Doesn't that kind of sketch you out a little bit?
Yes, closed doors sketches most people out, and I don't agree with that. I don't. I think that the best...
So you probably think I'm crazy, but have I sparked your interest at all?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I'm gonna have to look into it, because I have absolutely no idea before we spoke what they were.
And they're meeting right down the street?
Yeah, that's hitting pretty close to home.
And basically what you have is oligarchs, royal elites, banking elites, political elites, all meeting together. It's happening right now as we speak. At the top of their agenda is trying to undermine Donald Trump's America First policy. As an American citizen, how do you feel about that?
I hate it. I'm gonna tell you straight up, I hate it. And America should always be first. Always.
Why do you think people are not bothered by unelected leaders trying to control their country's destiny?
Honestly, I don't know. That's a question for them. It's a question for those people.
Maybe the fluoride in the water?
Yeah, maybe the fluoride and all the chlorine.
That could be it. So you're aware of Bilderberg, but you're saying that you'd like to know more. You wish you could know more. Part of the reason why you can't get any media coverage is because they have the whole damn thing blocked off. You can't even walk on the grounds. They black out all the hotel windows. You can't even get there. So you're saying, though,
as a concerned citizen, you'd like to see more reporting. You'd like to see more transparency from these people.
Exactly, yes.
And all that.
Have you ever learned about Bilderberg, though?
I have not.
This is their 65th meeting. They used to act like it didn't exist. What do you think about this?
Well, it's really cool because Herndon doesn't really get much, but no, that's what's happening.
But they're not telling you, so you still don't get it.
Well, that's just crazy. I've never heard of anything like that happening here.
What about you, sir?
I mean, it sounds kind of made up, but if it were true, that'd be crazy, I guess.
It is true. I was just there.
You were just there?
I literally was. Yeah, you can go. If you try to step on the grounds, there'll be 500 security officers that are ready to haul you away immediately, though.
Where is it?
It's in Chantilly, Virginia. It's at the Marriott. You'll see all the security immediately. It's very obvious.
All right.
So, do you know what the agenda is for the meetings this year?
No idea.
Well, maybe you like this, maybe you don't. The first agenda is they are going to work to try to undermine President Trump's America First agenda. What do you think about that?
Don't like that. No way.
That's good. I'd agree with them there. They also are working to reinstill the values internationally of NATO alliance and the Trans-Pacific Partnership, two things that President Trump is attacking right now. What do you think about that?
No, we need to make America great again. Trump all the way.
So you're not liking the fact that you have a secret shadow government that is meeting right now to try to undermine the American people?
No, I do not like that.
Now, let me ask you this, because you were aware of the Bilderberg Group. Most people out here that I've talked to have no idea what it is, but you necessarily weren't even anti it. You were saying, hey, this is good, you know, and I think I understand where you're coming from. These are successful people. They've had experience in life. They have a lot of financial power. Maybe they're meeting to do good. Maybe they actually want to make the world a better place. But then my question would be, why do they meet in secret, you think?
Because they're powerful people and they need to meet in secret. That's why.
This is something that's going on. Now that you've heard of this, does this spark your interest?
It's something I would probably look into now.
What about you?
Yeah, I'd be a little concerned about it.
You, sir?
Yeah, same what he said.
Now, you didn't think I was crazy, but you'd never heard of it before. What do you think?
No, I definitely want to look into it now. Definitely seems like something everybody should know about.
If you're in the area, if you're in the Washington, D.C. area, we're in Chantilly, Virginia, you need to show up on Saturday and support Trump. This is a good place to support Trump. This is the people who are opposing him. They need to see that he has support. So for InfoWars.com, I'm David Knight.
Alex Jones here with a very important news update to anybody out there that wants to be prepared. But it goes beyond being prepared. Our bodies absolutely must have the good halogen iodine or we will die. And you look at all of the thyroid problems and all the people that don't have energy and that have all sorts of hormone problems. And from my research, and a lot of just mainline research, it leads back to iodine over and over and over again. It's as important as vitamin C. If you don't get iodine, you die. But most people are just efficient, so they're low energy, they're sick. You got to have iodine in your body so that your body can produce the hormones you need. It is the base to so many things. And since I got into iodine 4 years ago, we've helped change the entire paradigm by developing and bringing to the public deep earth crystals from 7,000 to 12,000 feet of the purest iodine available. Other iodine comes from the ocean or from other byproducts of chemical facilities, and it's tainted. It's bound. It's not absorbable. I tried it. And I had incredible effects even with dirty iodine because the body needs it. When you don't have iodine, it absorbs the chlorine, the fluoride, and all these other bad halogens. Do yourself and your family a favor and check out the importance of iodine for yourself. I think you're going to be blown away. And whatever you do, support the broadcast and get a bottle of Survival Shield Nascent Iodine X2. Also consult your physician because if you've been deficient in it or have other issues, it can have some dramatic effects. As for me and most folks I talk to, it's been a game changer in the positive column, but still consult your physician because iodine is no joke. It's a key building block of the body. And if you haven't had it for a long time and suddenly have it, some folks say they've experienced things like a detoxing effect and things like that. You've got to have vitamin C. You've got to have iodine to live. You got to have water to live. Iodine is key. You must have it, but consult your physician first before you get powerful Survival Shield Nascent Iodine X2 at InfoWarsLife.com or call toll free. We can answer your questions. 888-253-3139.
This president, of all people, is going to come after me? He picked the wrong redhead. And he's sort of a redhead, although it's sort of like a parfait cup. I made fun of Clinton. Oh, God, remember the Monica dress days? Those were the days. You could make dress jokes all day long, and nobody tried to kill you. You shouldn't have to die for this. I'm under a Secret Service investigation.
Kathy Griffin, it's a real good indication that your material is horrible when you have to hire a lawyer to defend it.
It was a parody of Trump's own sexist remarks, taken to an extreme, absurdist visual. Like many edgy works of artistic expression, the photo could be interpreted different ways, and Kathy was fine with that. But Kathy never imagined that it could be misinterpreted as a threat of violence against Trump. That was never what she intended.
Already 7 celebrities have stepped onto Griffin's sinking ship, defending the plastic bubble that they all live in, including poser Al Franken, Jamie Foxx, Larry King, Rosie O'Donnell, Jim Carrey.
You know, I had a dream the other night about that I was playing golf with Donald Trump, and I was standing beside him with a club in my hand, and I was, you know, considering my options when I suddenly woke up. You know, it was one of those dreams where you want to just get back to sleep so you can finish it, you know?
But the backlash has just begun.
Clink, clink on her. That's right. Because she don't need to be walking around among us. Right. If she think it's funny to be holding a severed head.
Yes. Even advocating this.
Like this is cute. And they're supposed to be the president. They need to lock you up. You have more than a mental illness going on. I can't describe your illness, but you have more than a mental illness going on.
Roseanne Barr responded to the ensuing Griffin Barron Trump debacle, saying, "2 of my grandsons are Barron Trump's age. I would slap the out of any bitch or who upset them. Trust me on that." Kathy Griffin, who lives in Bel Air next to the Kardashians, has no children and seems to actually detest them, which she has every right to do, but that isolates her from a huge majority of the population of the United States. Griffin, lacking any moral high ground, has taken a stand against President Trump for his grab her by the faux pas, yet goes on to promote her own act as being far more vulgar, especially to children.
I'm also not appropriate for children, I would say, across the board. Like, trust me, like when I used to do a joke in my act when I was doing clubs, when I would, sometimes someone would shout out, "I've got a kid here." And I'd say, "Well, you're at the wrong effing place." Like, I'm very open about that. I'm going to be honest, he broke me. He broke me. And then I was like, no, this isn't right. This is not right. And I apologized because that was the right thing to do and I meant it. And then I saw the tide turning and I saw what they were doing and I went, oh, okay, they're trying to spin this and they're making it about Barron, and obviously that was never my intent. I would never want to hurt anyone, much less a child, but I started to see what was really happening, and then it was a mob mentality pile-on. And so many people have expressed to me personally across the country at my shows, they're scared. So, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to risk it today. I don't know.
Face it, Kathy, you just destroyed your career. And like Hillary Clinton, it's nobody's fault but your own. The Hollywood Hills aren't Congress. You and your ilk, Sarah Silverman, Meryl Streep, Robert De Niro, Cher, Lena Dunham, George Clooney, Jennifer Lawrence, and Johnny Depp are actually endangering your careers regardless of what your agents are telling you. Just go take a look at Colin Kaepernick's current career status. The American people aren't buying what you're selling because your facts, much like Kathy Griffin's pointless train wreck of a career, don't resonate with the majority of the hardworking Americans that made you what you are in the first place.
What is your opinion of that First Amendment expression of you beheading Lisa Bloom? Is there a question? Is there a comment you would have about this image of beheading Lisa Bloom? I wonder, this is a First Amendment protected expression, and we really got to make sure that nobody gets bullied as a result of this.
John Bound for InfoWars.com.
Well, we all know that yesterday President Trump canceled and pulled out of the Paris climate change agreement during a speech, and after the mainstream media and even the liberals on Twitter went hysterical. We saw so many people just saying so many drastic, extreme things out there, thinking the world was going to end. Oh my gosh, you know, cow farts are going to go out of control and the whole world is going to end and humans are going to go extinct. And people went crazy. Well, what's actually interesting is this tweet that President Trump tweeted out. I'll read it to you. It says, despite the constant negative press, Cove Fifi. Now, this tweet has gone super viral. All the mainstream media, everybody's been talking about it, criticizing it. What does this mean? What does Cove Fifi mean? Did he intend for it to be a word, or was it just a misspelling or a typo, or what in the world was Donald Trump trying to do by saying Cove Fifi? Well, it's really quite simple. Everybody was talking and criticizing him about the Paris Agreement that he just pulled out of. So what did he do? He went and talked, and the mainstream media and the grammar Nazis just could not resist changing and the whole storyline and jumping to that to criticize him about this word or this misspelling, Cove Fifi. So essentially, Trump did exactly what he wanted to do with that by changing the whole mainstream media's narrative. So everyone just got trolled really hardcore. And you can even tell by the fact that he says, despite the constant negative press. Okay, so he's going to do this to get the negative press off himself. And it's pretty funny that many people don't pick up on that. But, you know, I really want to talk about some of the hysteria, the climate change hysteria that's been going on since he pulled out of this. I mean, you have people saying that, you know, the whole world's going to come to an end. Well, I came across this really interesting article. It says, dinosaurs gas themselves into extinction, British scientists say. Okay, so we have British scientists saying that the dinosaurs actually went extinct because they farted themselves into extinction. This gets so ridiculous, guys. I mean, we have all these people out there saying that cows and their methane gas that they're creating is going to make the whole world, you know, go extinct. The whole world's just going to be, we're going to have a scorched earth. You know, they have cows now that they're putting these methane fart bags on to capture their methane gas to try and make sure that they're not polluting the environment as much as they could be. I mean, this is crazy. Could you imagine? I guess the dinosaurs went extinct because they didn't have a bunch of hysterical liberals around to go and attach giant methane fart bags to them. Come on, guys. It's getting pretty crazy. We all know that the science has been greatly over-exaggerated, saying that, you know, I actually spoke with Christopher Lord Monckton, who came out with some pretty interesting science saying how they're over-exaggerating their climate change data and that a little bit of climate change is natural and who they have no proof exactly that it is man-made. Now, we've seen the Earth change throughout times. We've seen the Earth used to be Pangea, where all the continents were all together. We used to have ice ages. We had warmer periods. We had the medieval warm period. We had the Little Ice Age. The weather pattern throughout the centuries, throughout millions and millions of years, has been changing. Another interesting article says, to save the planet, don't plant trees. So first they were telling people, go out and plant more trees because you're going to help fight CO2 emissions. You're going to help fight climate change. Well, now that science has been debunked, and scientists are now saying, don't plant trees because the trees, the color of the leaves are dark, so the light reflects off the leaves and then creates a warmer atmosphere, and thus you create more global warming by forests. So now it's just getting out of control. So should we really be allowing these few scientists out there, which a lot of this is based off of theory, not fact. They come out with theories of climate change. Should we have them going out there and demanding that politicians make changes that will forever impact our economy, our social structure, and our society, all based off of things that end up being disproven later on in time? Well, it's pretty interesting to see this, but for more reports, guys, just go to InfoWars.com, and hopefully you can find out some awesome reports on this.
I am very proud to announce the introduction of the highest quality InfoWars Biome Defense Probiotic. We wanted to come out with the largest spectrum of high quality known probiotics that have been proven to improve overall digestion and health and detoxification in the body. Biome Defense is an exclusive blend of 50 billion live and active cultures from over 23 different probiotic strains that are known to support digestion and intestinal function. Our researchers are confident that we have been able to develop what will be the leading probiotic on the market. Secure your Biome Defense in ultra strength or regular strength at InfoWarsLife.com today and get started supporting your digestive system naturally. We've been testing this formula for years, but this is the limited first run to the public, so please take advantage of it today. Support your own health and support the InfoWar.